Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video, and that is the Bawoo, or the Bawoo? I would call it the Bawoo, because that sounds, I guess, a little bit more normal. Uh, and yeah, so I'm going to do some initial thoughts on this, and I'm doing a space match here, because I tried to do a ground match, and the only ground match there was 650, and for some reason, the enemy Q-Blaze are godlike, and the Q-Blaze on your team are, they're like children sometimes. uh, yeah, Dude in Space. I'm pretty sure it was good enough to where I recorded it. I don't remember exactly what happens. 'Cause I played some matches with some friends after this. But I do think I placed pretty well. But yeah, back to the Bawoo. Start off with some stats here. I have the level 2, which is 600. Level 1 is 550. Well, obviously. It's got 22 ballistic resistance, 30 beam resistance, 14 melee resistance, and then it has 31 ranged and 29 melee in attack and all that. So, looking at these stats for the level 2, it seems very middling. I would even say these are like general stats here, especially for level 2 at 600. Which, speaking of this suit, the way it plays, this thing feels like a general. It almost feels like a support sometimes, too. So I'm guessing they went for like a shooty general for this kind of suit, for a raid suit, which is interesting to say the least. Excuse me. It's loaded with some weapons, and there's also some weird shit about it. Apparently it transforms. Well, actually, I knew it transformed. It had two, like, I think it has like a waverider form, or a mobile armor form, whichever you want to call it. And I think it also has a different version where they separate into two different parts. And one of them's called the Nutter. You got the attacker and the Nutter. I think the Nutter with the legs. Obviously, it's the Nutter. But I thought that would have been really interesting to have that. That would have been very unique kind of suit if they had that, where it can like send its hot top half out, kind of like the regular Saikamu system stuff, and then it'll do like, I don't know, like a shoot a little bit and come back to you. That would have been interesting. Or maybe, you go somewhere, you crouch down, instead of getting out of your suit, you launch in the attacker form, and it's kind of like playing in jet mode. And I guess if you die or something, it automatically switches to the Nutter, and you can transform in the Nutter and go around and fly in that. That would have been interesting. Instead, we kind of got just a shooty general, but it's pretty decent. I keep saying shooty general; it's a shooty raid now. Also, I'll get into it. I was about to start and rant, but start off with the weapons first. It's got a beam rifle. The beam rifle overheats when you fully charge it, which is weird. It doesn't stun on the uncharged. It stuns when it charges, although it doesn't penetrate or any of that. It's just there, I guess, for the stun if you want to charge it. It has grenade launchers similar to the Zeta, where it shoots out for decent little picking off damage. You hit all four, they stun. And then we have the missiles on its little wings there, which those are really fun. They reminded me a little bit of the way you use them, kind of like the Palace Athene. Sadly, you can't fly in the air and shoot them out. That would have been fucking badass, but no. They still do really great damage. They do, the base damage is 1,050 for each shot, and there's 6. So that's potentially 6,000 damage if you hit somebody. And then, of course, there's some generals. It's ballistic damage, too, so a lot of suits at 550, 600 have low ballistic damage, so you can really use that to your advantage. If somebody's knocked on the ground, you can use that on them. I say only when they're knocked on the ground, because whenever you fire these, you have to stand still, and that can be troublesome sometimes. And of course, there's some generals that they take like 950 damage, which I'm fine with that. And then of course the 650, I fought one of my, I think it was the first match with the Bawoo. There's a Q-Blade that took 635 damage each from each missile, which that's not too bad at all either if it's on the ground. So I'd recommend using it when you have a teammate that knocks somebody on the ground, of course. And then it has the Mega Particle Shield Cannon. And my fucking god, I don't know what the fuck the devs are thinking, because the Hama Hama has a Mega Particle Cannon shield too. But that doesn't even count as a shield. It doesn't even have a buffer. Why the fuck does this thing not only have a shield, but also shoots? And it's instant stuns too. You don't have to charge it or anything. Why? And it also has maneuver armor and a dodge roll. And decent melee. I think it has melee priority level 3, if not 2. What the fuck? Why didn't you give that shit the fucking Hama Hama? Why? At least give it the shield. Why the fuck does it not? Why does this one get the shield? Makes no fucking sense. Especially when you looked at the mega particle cannons take up almost half the fucking shield. I say half, being hyperbolic here, but you know what I mean? Holy shit. That pisses me off. What the fuck? But yeah, so it's got the mega particle cannon. It stuns instantly, and for me, I like to have it set up to where it's my first weapon, my square button, because that instant stun, and then you can combo. You can do a lot of combos. You can do your instant stun shield to your beam rifle, and then to your melee, or just straight into your melee, and then you can follow up with your missiles or your grenades, or another beam rifle shot, then do another melee. So the combo potential on this suit is amazing. And ooh, I got a kill there. So it definitely has its uses. Although it doesn't feel like a suit you want to clash with somebody by themselves. Like usually there's raid types that can handle themselves very well on their own, in like in a 1v1 kind of situation. Something like the Hayakushiki or the Striker Custom comes to mind. Something that like you can just go after the enemy raid, like a plant, you know. This suit feels like a wingman. No pun intended, because of its wings. Like a wingman to a general, or a support. It has the damage. It's kind of awkward to get like the big damage. I don't know how to explain this. Like it has the maneuver armor and dodge roll, but it has pretty low melee resistance, or at least middling for a raid type. And you know, with the weapons it has set up, the beam rifle doesn't stun unless you charge it. Everything else it has on it doesn't stun unless you hit them multiple times, besides the instant stun shield. So I feel like you can use this in conjunction with other generals, and this poor support type just got, oh my god, laminated against the wall by those explosions. Yes, laminated. It's no fucking sense. So it's got the damage, it's got a decent melee, it's got the maneuver armor, it's got a dodge roll, it's got pretty much everything you want in a suit. It's got a shield, even though the Hama doesn't. Giving up at this fucking point for support types. Although it feels weird that it doesn't have the transformation, because that makes like the second double Zeta suit to not have a transformation. I mean, I can see why they didn't give the double Zeta one. Maybe it would just be too weird, I guess, because it's like 3 different ships or something like that. I think 5. I don't know. Something just it feel. I don't know. You get what I'm saying here? It's kind of like it'd be kind of hard to implement it transforming in mid-flight or something like that, you know. But this suit, oh hey, top damage, top diversion, awesome. And hey, first place 6-1, badass. And second place 5,200 individual score too, pretty good. And hey, I leveled up to C+, awesome. But yeah, it feels weird it doesn't have a transformation. I know a lot of people are probably upset about that. Like, you can't turn into the Nutter. They definitely missed their opportunity to make a unique suit out of that. Like a very unique suit. They could have made something like just different. Kind of like how the Dryson has the tri-blade system, or the Q-blade just has all those funnels. They could have made something out of that, but instead they went to this. I don't want to say generic, because it's not a generic suit. It has its stuff, but you know, it just feels very basic. And it could be a little bit more. You know, it's they're making a lot of weird decisions. First, we get, well, I say first. This has been happening for a while. You know, the Hama Hama couldn't be the best it was. Sure, some DS sucks ass. Then we get the water update. The water update. We get a flying suit, and it's not even a flying support. It's the Methus. Everybody thinks it's going to be a support. It's not. It's a general. So we get a flying general for the Aqua update. And then this suit comes along and doesn't transform, which is weird. I think a lot of people would have appreciated that. But yeah, it's going to be in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, type up in the comment section what you feel about the Bawoo. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I actually like it so far. I'm not too huge of a fan of melee raid suits, so this one's definitely caught my eye because you can shoot a lot with it. And there's a lot of team setups you can do with it, too. Like I said, if somebody's on the floor, you can just whip out your missiles and just blow their fucking legs apart. And it's got really good combos. It's just that I couldn't really put it to good use because I had 650 ground matches to work with and 650 space matches, which I say I didn't put it into good use, but I got first place this match. I guess it didn't feel like it to me. I have yet to use it in a 600 match. I really want to, and I think it can do pretty well at 600. Especially with some of the supports at that right. Actually, yeah, I think with some of the supports there, you got the MLRS, the Hama, Shortsum Diaz, the Gelgood Jaeger. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good raid suit for that. And then, of course, you got all those generals around that it could mess up with its missiles and kind of defend itself. Even though it has maneuver armor, and then it's got the dodge roll and the shield. So it's well equipped to handle a lot of situations. But, yeah, I think it's going to be it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Still wish we got the Nutter, though.